Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 5 of Cables and Coffee. We're back again here with Daryl, our lead engineer. Daryl, what are we going to be building today?
Today we're going to be doing Silver Dragon USB.
Awesome. Cool. Let's roll the intro. All right, so what's the first step in building a Silver Dragon USB cable, Daryl?
All right, so I have a couple examples here. We'll go through a couple of different connections. These have been cut to 3 foot. That's pretty standard length for us.
Oh, and I forgot. What are you drinking?
Oh, I don't know.
Coffee, right?
Well, coffee, yeah. But
that's what counts.
Sarah ran and got me a coffee. I think some kind of medium roast.
Sarah, thank you, Sarah. It might be the Nantucket blend. We have got my not sponsored by Kirkland cold brew coffee here. Pretty good. Highly recommend. But yeah, back to the cable. What you building?
So Dragon USB. So first, like always, we want to find our dragons on the cable.
There they are. Yep.
Yeah. So the first one's gonna be a USB A to a USB full size B. So I found my dragon. I know how to put on these hoods.
Nice.
So I'll go ahead and get those prepped.
If you're tuning into Cables and Coffee for the first time, this is a new series we're doing where we build our cables live on YouTube. So if you have any questions, please drop them in the chat. We'd love to answer them as best as we can. And if we can't answer them, we'll get Drew Baird, our CEO, to get back to you. So what are you doing right now, Daryl?
So I've stripped off the outer jacket, and now I'm going to strip off the braided wire. I want to keep this drain wire right there.
Drain wire, what is that?
So that's going to be your ground connection.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why do you call it a drain?
I don't know.
It's one of those things. It's just accepted.
Yeah. So I put away the braiding. Now we have the drain wire left and our aluminum shieldings. So we follow a pretty typical USB standard. So there's a braided wire shielding, and then there's 2 aluminum shieldings that separate the power and the data lines.
Okay.
And we follow a typical USB color code as well internally.
So this is a Silver Dragon cable. What's inside a Silver Dragon again?
This is pure silver wire.
Nice.
Yeah.
So you got blue and red. What do those mean?
Well, we have green, red, white, black.
Yeah, I said
and
blue. I'm not sure what that came from.
You missed the Blue Dragon USB cable.
I missed that one.
So I'm just going to strip these about a 1/16 of an inch. Well, need solder to solder, right?
Hey.
Okay.
Bring this camera in just a little bit.
So now we're doing our USB A. Just gonna tend these.
And just for some of our viewers who might be unfamiliar, USB-A is the largest USB connector, right? It's the big rectangular one.
Yeah, it's a big rectangular one. Yeah.
What USBs do we offer for USB cables?
So we have pretty much every option. We have everything from USB A, and then on the USB B, we have the full size, the micro B, the mini B, and then the new USB C, both OTG and non-OTG versions.
Gotcha.
That's where a lot of confusion kind of comes in with things.
So what is now? In my next question, what does OTG stand for?
It's an old term, means on the go.
Ah.
So back in the USB micro B days, there was a fifth pin, and it was the fourth pin, and that was called like a sensing. So if you grounded it, connected to ground or connected via resistor, it would tell the device to output versus being let's see, yeah, it would tell it to output audio.
Okay, instead of data or whatever, or like something else or power.
It would signal to it that would be the controlling device instead of the peripheral device.
Gotcha.
Yeah. I'm just gonna clean up these little solder bits. Okay. So there's our A done.
What are you going to put on this end?
So this is going to be a full-size B.
Full-size B, which is kind of like the, I think as I call it, the printer plug.
Yes. Yeah, the standard receiving USB connector. Same thing here. Going to strip away the, braid it. Yep, make sure I don't clip my drain wire. So effectively that drain wire is just stranded wire itself that runs below the braided shielding. So it's connected to the shielding. But yeah, just runs underneath it.
Gotcha.
It's probably where the drain actually came from.
Okay, yeah. So it's kind of like a separate little cavity or something within the within the cable.
Even though it's directly connected to the shielding.
Gotcha.
Same deal here. Strip them about 1/16.
You're a little closer for us. There we go.
Sorry.
That's all right. We put this camera right in Daryl's face. It makes it really easy to make cables.
It's only blocking out a third of my vision.
We need to just, you know what we should probably do is get a GoPro.
Strap it right on my forehead.
Right on your forehead.
That'll work. Might not be the best idea if I'm drinking coffee, though. I'll look around a lot.
Yeah. Get the view right into your coffee cup.
Yeah. Speaking of, let's grab a...
Yeah, take a little coffee break there. I need to do the same. Is it hot enough?
Mm-hmm. It's right at that perfect drinkable stage.
Mine is not cold enough anymore, but it's okay.
Oh, no. Well, first you started with cold coffee. That was a mistake.
That was the first problem.
Yeah. All right, so attendees.
Is it also the same number of connectors on this one?
Yeah, so 4. And then that drain wire is going to be connected to the hood. Whoa. Popped up while I was gone.
Sometimes the cables don't stay where you want them to.
Yeah. Okay.
To our viewers out there, if you're just now tuning in, this is Cables and Coffee by Moon Audio, and we are here building our cables live on YouTube. If you have any questions, please feel free to drop them in the chat. We'll do our best to answer them. And if you have any feedback on the show, the series, anything you've seen, please let us know. We'd love to see what your thoughts are.
All right. So now we got those soldered.
Cool.
So just for protection from shorting out, to have a little bit of hot glue there and there.
Keeps them all separated, kind of.
Yes. And then
In the same place. Daryl's getting a very special part from our very large collection.
You know, since these
Ooh, multiple parts.
yeah. So these are the shells basically, and so I put the glue there to protect it from shorting, any of those shorting to the shell.
Gotcha.
And then slide that on. Actually bring this over. Snap that down.
It's a large connector. I forgot. You don't realize how deep it is.
Yeah.
Without the housing on, huh?
Very true. And so, just like always, I'm going to find my dragon. I'm going to line up the top of that connector. And then we always like to use, this is the top, this is the bottom. It's the most standard. There are some companies that like to go upside down with it. So there's the B completed for now. With the A, it actually comes with a little plastic piece to offer the cover.
Ah. Now, what's the maximum length that you would recommend making a USB cable like this?
We've done 20 footers. I wouldn't try to go anywhere past 12, 15 feet,
Yeah.
honestly. I mean, it'll still work, but you're going to get degradation of signal.
Yeah.
It's not a very strong signal.
You would need some sort of power to get it to go longer distances, and I guess in that case you probably wouldn't be using USB if you needed to go longer distances.
Yeah. So now we got the hood on.
Nice.
So now it's hot glue time. Just paint it on. Let that cure.
We got our Silver Dragon heat shrink.
Yes, actually, thank you. I'll go ahead and stretch
Spread.
that out. Yeah.
I know we've said before, you know, our heat shrink has directions noted on it.
Yes.
And is that something that applies to these cables too?
Oh, of course, yeah. Especially when you get to USB-C. So if you order a USB-C to C from us, one side is going to be OTG and one side is going to be standard. Now we did that because there are certain devices that do not like to see, certain receiving devices that do not like to see an OTG, kind of confuses them.
Mm-hmm.
So we decided to go OTG to standard with all of our C2C cables.
Gotcha.
Now the Dragon will always point from the source to
Yeah.
the
Source to
receiving
receiver.
end. Yeah. So if you get a C to C and it's not working for you, just swap the direction and follow the dragon.
There you go.
So that still hasn't set up completely. So go ahead and do the B now. Same process.
Hot glue artistry over here.
Yeah, it's a skill.
It takes time.
So the let's see. So we have our A to B, and on the next cable, we're going to be doing a USB-C to a micro B,
Nice.
which I need to go grab. That way I can show you a lot of different connections.
Cool.
So you should be good by now. Yeah. So A is the source, so our dragon's going to be pointing away from it. I want that to hug over the edge a little bit. Line it up. Heat it down.
So satisfying every time.
Yeah. And so what's happening, what I want to get a full I want to get that high glue back to melting temperature so it goes into all of those crevices there and creates a nice strong string relief.
Gotcha.
So B, receiving end, dragon's pointing towards that. Line it up. I want it to hug over a little bit. Heat it down. There we go.
Nice.
So that is a silver dragon, 3 foot, A to B, completed.
Ding. Beautiful. So we got a little more time here. You want to give us a preview of some other dragon cables or some other dragon USB cables?
Like the black dragon?
No, the ones you were talking about earlier.
Like
that one. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Daryl thought I was throwing him a curveball.
Oh. Yeah. So we're doing another 3 foot.
Silver dragon again.
Yes.
Nice. Just with a C.
This will be a C. Let me go grab a micro.
Okay. While Daryl's grabbing some new parts, if you're just now joining the live stream, this is Cables and Coffee, streaming live on YouTube, how we build our Dragon cables here at Moon Audio. If you have any questions for Daryl or the Moon Audio team or for Drew Baird, we'd be happy to answer them. Please just drop them in the chat and we'll do our best.
All right. So this starts pretty much the same. Find my dragon. It's pointing this way. We're going to use the COTG as the source. Braided shielding. Looking for that drain wire.
So you said you're looking for it. How do you identify it?
So it's going to be a twisted strand. It's going to be a twist of stranded wire located within that. So sometimes it sticks.
Oh, okay.
It sticks with that aluminum shielding, and sometimes it folds down with the braided shielding.
Gotcha.
But yeah, you're just looking for that clump of wire. Now, in all reality, you could just use some of the braided shielding.
Yeah.
Since it's all connected.
Careful hand with that X-Acto knife.
Much of the same. This one I'm going to go a little further down. I want the cable to stay closer to the connector itself.
Gotcha.
Once I solder it.
So you say further down, you mean you need more of the wires pulled out like that to get it to work?
Yeah. I'm going to end up trimming it a little bit, but tin them.
Tin them up.
And then this one differs as well. I'm going to actually twist that drain wire onto the black jacketed wire. Trim it. I'm going to use this guy as a little holder. Tin this connection. This end is completed, soldering wise. Cover all that in the thin.
So there's like a little chip there?
Yeah, so when I was talking earlier about the micro B having the sensing pin, the USB-C is a little bit different. So this has a resistor and a capacitor that hooks between a sensing pin within that to the 5 volts voltage to act as like a little turn on.
Gotcha.
All right.
Cool. You want to show us how that? So don't you have a finished example of one of those?
Yes.
Yeah.
So the C is a little more complicated with the hood and everything.
Yeah.
But once that's done, we're gonna add our heat shrink. I've already added glue to the back of this as well. I'll shrink that down. This is our finished product here.
Nice.
USB-C.
Very cool.
Now we'll do our micro, which should be very fun.
Tell us why, Daryl.
This is what you soldered to.
Oh,
These pins here.
that looks pretty small.
Yes. Delicate touch.
Now, what's your opinion of that specific USB connector?
The micro?
Yeah.
I like the micro.
Too interesting. Tell us how you really feel, Daryl.
Yeah. I don't like soldering it that much, but as far as a connection, it was pretty decent.
Yeah.
I think the problem with it is longevity wise, the 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 female socket tend to wear out.
Mm-hmm.
That's a problem that happened on a lot of like little portable DACs that use the micro as an
Yeah.
input. Um, the socket will wear out, and so it relies on also these little spring teeth.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and those over time can wear out, and then that combined with the female socket wearing out. Um, yeah.
Yeah, that's not too reliable in the long term.
Yeah, especially like mainly from unplugging, plugging, unplugging.
Yeah,
plugging,
yeah.
you know.
If you leave it plugged in all the time, you're probably good.
Yeah. And how much stress it's seeing, you know.
Yeah.
If it's in a pocket or in a bag, and
It seems like more companies are moving towards that USB-C, so
for sure.
a little stronger connection, more reliable, at least as we can tell by at
Yeah.
this point.
And it has a lot more capability
Yeah.
as well, which is good and bad. We'll do some stripping process here. All right, 10 again. You replace that soldering tip.
Well, I've got to say the chat today has been a little quiet, so I don't know where all those people, if they know they can ask questions. But last plug: if you want to ask any questions, just throw them in the live in the chat on this video. We'll do our best to answer them at this point. I think we are kind of close to wrapping it up here for the day or for the episode. But if you want to drop any questions in, we'll try to answer them before we finish.
Yeah, unfortunately, USBs. I mean, they're not that exciting to build.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we don't have a lot of. I guess the first headphone that comes to mind that you could use this with would be like a Focal-Batiste, right?
Yes.
I mean, that's like a good example of one. I don't know if we have one right here, but
Not in here.
No.
That and of course, with all your like the Mojo 2 now has
Yeah.
USB-C, which still has the micro B as well.
if you're watching this video and you haven't heard of the Focal-Batiste, we would highly recommend you check that out on our website. It's a really awesome wireless headphone made by Focal.
So yeah, sometimes that solder wants to jump pins, but there's a solution.
Hey, we got our first question here. Right. So, if my micro USB connector happens to break, what is your repair policy?
Oh, okay. Yeah, we can gladly fix that for you. Kind of depends if it's a wear and tear issue, that kind of thing. But yeah, we can definitely replace it with a new micro B.
Nice.
We've done that lots of times.
And if you, like, for example, want to re-terminate it, is that possible with these cables?
Oh, yeah. So say if you got a micro B and then you got the new Mojo 2, and you're like, hey, I want to use a C over the micro, send it in. We can easily swap that out for you.
Nice. Thanks for your question, AAO.
I don't know how well you can see.
A little bit of your noggin there, but that's fine. Yeah, we might want to consider getting like a super close-up camera so we can see some of this stuff. If you're watching this and you'd be interested in seeing that, let us know in the chat what you think we should do, or if you have any ideas for this live stream. We do this every second and fourth Tuesday of the month, so we're planning to do this for a little while longer. So if you have any ideas on how we can improve our live streams, please let us know.
We'll say this is where tinning both parts really comes in as a positive, because now that I've tinned this tiny little pin and I've tinned the wire, I only have to apply a little bit of heat.
Gotcha.
To make a solid connection. So therefore I'm not on there long, solder doesn't want to jump around, and yeah, get a nice solid connection without having any shorting issues. So let's see how well this will do.
Good job, Daryl. You know how to make the camera focus now. You're a pro.
Yeah.
That actually focuses pretty close. I'm impressed. Nice.
And then here's the other side.
Nicely done.
There.
I think I might have said earlier when I was saying when we do these live streams, I might have said every Tuesday, every second and fourth Tuesday. So just clarifying for our viewers, it's every second and fourth Thursday. Thursday.
The other
because today is Thursday, not Tuesday.
That's it.
It's a little early. My coffee hasn't kicked in yet.
So I'm just going to shoot some glue in there to isolate all those pins, keep them from ever wanting to move. After that,
now, is this a 3 foot or a 4.5? Or is
this is a 3-footer.
3 foot,
well.
okay.
Yeah. A little bit of a weird one to do a C to micro B 3 foot, but
hey, we like weird cables here.
yeah, I can always cut it down and
there you go.
make multiple cables out of it. So here to provide further insulation, I'm going to go ahead and wrap that with some Teflon tape. Now we can add the micro hood. Do some more hot glue painting. Nice symmetrical. Let that set. Go grab some more heat shrink.
If you're just now tuning into Cables and Coffee, we're wrapping up here, but if you have any last minute questions for Daryl or the Moon Audio team or even Drew Baird, we can get those questions answered for you as best as we can. So please drop them in the chat if you have any left. And be sure to tune in next time for some new things we got going on with Cables and Coffee. Just, you know, coming soon. Some new things. I won't say much more than that, but Daryl looks very excited.
Terrified, but excited as well.
Yeah. Daryl, you already got it covered. It's on the technical side.
Oh, okay.
That's all I'll tell our viewers, but
Technical, very cool.
or the back end, if you will.
All right, so just waiting for that to cure, set up, and get this last heat shrink on.
Need some Jeopardy music here.
Yeah. Let's see. Can play around with the tester.
Oh, you're gonna use the tester again? Nice.
Yeah. So This is the same one we use with the tester box, the little destroyed. Yeah.
What did you say it came from, or what or it used to be?
So it was originally a tester box, much like
The big one that we have for
much
our
like
headphone-
this
oh,
one,
Nice.
where it has a bunch of connections, and you can do all of this. This has a auto sweep on it, so it'll sweep with whatever connections are connected.
Gotcha.
And sweep down automatically. This one was the old turn style.
And I see a lot of LEDs, so that it also like light up to tell you what's working.
Yeah, and also tell you if you have misconnections. So say like 2 is connected to 1, like the 2 green
Nice.
is connected to the yellow 1.
Yeah.
You know you did something wrong. And so with this board too, I added a USB-B connection.
Yeah.
So now we can
Test that one too.
test like this, which we'll test it between a computer and
Like in
a
real
DAC that we
situation.
have here. Yeah.
Yeah.
So your cable gets tested twice, just like with the headphone cables. But so just sweep here 1 1 2 2 3 3 4 4. So that
Nice.
one's good to go.
Boom.
And then another thing we can show as well. So this one's just a continuity tester, but
Here, pull that one into the shot for us a little bit more.
yeah, this is just another one. But this one is broken internally as well, so we only use it as a continuity tester
Yeah.
currently. But this will show the ground. So that's the 2 drain wires
Continuity.
connected to
Yep.
the outer shells.
Nice.
The micro should be set up by now. Micros are another funny one where half the people made it orient this way and half
Oh,
that
no.
way.
In terms of like the numbering of the teeth or the pins.
No, just like plug-in orientation.
Oh.
So, yeah, if we take this is a Mojo 1. If you see, like, this is the top, so we'd want the dragon to be here,
Oh, so
which is pretty much the standard, so we follow that. If you do mention in the list of your devices what you have, we try to orient it the correct way.
for that device.
If we can find a picture of
of
the-
the said device.
yeah. That's the problem with, like, a lot of phones. It'll say, oh, it has a micro B. Cool.
Which way is it?
Yeah, but trying to find a picture of that orientation
of
of
the
the phone.
A little challenging.
Yes. So we're just gonna heat this down. Again, it'll hug over a little bit. Have a little bit of glue escape, but that's fine. We'll clean that up. And there we go.
Nice.
Very
So
cool.
that's cable done. Awesome.
Yep. So
Very
a
cool.
couple examples of some Silver Dragon USB cables.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much, Daryl, for building these cables with us once again.
Thank
This
you.
has been great. Always a great day or a great way to start the day. So I don't see any other questions in our chat, so we'll go ahead and wrap it up for today.
Right.
But yeah, thanks for joining us. Say bye, Daryl.
I appreciate it.